Hello, everybody, and welcome to round one of our Sunday locals. This one we have me playing Orcust. Um, I guess it's like a hodgepodge. Orcust Horus adventure with some bestials in there, and versus David, who's playing his Melodius, which he's gotten a lot better with. He's have a lot more practice with it, which is really good. And this is the reason I was doing the Orcust is with the Horus. Sometimes you can brick every time you pitch and they hit it, but if you have the Orcust in your hand or the adventure package, it's really nice. It doesn't really hurt you. You know, you can hit, send water enchantress and kind of plus that way. So, um, but I think if memory serves right, I don't have any Orcus or draw any Orcus. Even though harp wars at 3, I just still don't see it. Um, but in this one, David goes first, and he kind of sets up a pretty strong board that's kind of tough for me to break through. I'm gonna have to up the hand trap because sometimes just having a more hand traps, Ash, Ogre, which I really want now, or even Ghost Mourner. Because in this game, you see David just hits me with so many hand traps that really stuns me, and I just can't play through a lot of it. But still, a lot of fun. I don't really get to record a lot of Sundays, but Sundays we typically try to be a little bit more competitive, with decks that we're more less practice with. Tuesdays we try to do just fun decks and such that are just like random stuff that we're like, you know what, I want to try this, in person. But Sundays we try to keep it a little bit more competitive. So we get a lot more showings on Sundays.
I might still just be thinking, okay, box of family, special, to play, but refrain too expensive. I'll probably just pass it to you.
Yeah. And they just summon them to place themselves.
Old burning of your school?
That's fair. Honestly, if you're gonna try, if you are gonna play that, I did BA. That's the one that I want.
Original spiral was legal.
Yeah.
These will
Pass on the ground.
Exact same. We'll do a pendulum summon. For one.
Yep.
Soprano.
And this is a soft one.
Yeah. Can't use it like I don't have it.
Oh, okay.
So it's just to get it.
Yeah, I also apologize about the lighting. I thought I angled it a little bit better this time around, but it's kind of tough to see once I'm actually into the editing and such. Um, so yeah, it's kind of a little tough to get that right, but I'll probably do a little bit better. The problem with the angling is if I try to angle it more downward, it's really tough to see the graveyard at the end. Like it's almost like you can see where the deck is, and like David's extra deck, where that is way better. But then as you start to look towards the graveyard, you can barely see it. So it's a little tough there. But yeah, I'll probably try angling it a little bit better this time around. So in this one, I just wanted to come in and just say, like, the pendulum thing is super frustrating. Just how you can make the fusion while using the pendulum zones, and then they just place themselves again. So now that he's been playing this a lot more, I'm kind of getting used to it. But sometimes there's something I miss where I'm like, oh yeah, does anything lock you or anything stop you? And from what I've seen, it doesn't look like no. Or if he's adding the right stuff, I try to read them all. But man, I mean, classic Yu-Gi-Oh! Mile-long text, so kind of hard to tell if there's anything that I'm missing. So I kind of take my time, just read it. Like, all right, what's going on? Let's see, what is this doing? And I mean, his end board is pretty good. I just have to get used to the idea of realizing, like, okay, he ends on a smaller board that seems like it's easily breakable, but then you got to realize the rest of it is just hand traps in the hand. So I was really hoping to kind of see more of the Horus package so I can just poke and kill, but I only draw. I think you can see there, I drew the equip spell for the adventure package. I only basically drew almost all adventure, and even though it's a one of, And I've seen decks. I've seen Horus decks run too. I keep drawing the World Wand, which I don't want to see. I would rather pitch it, make use of it, mid combo, but I always somehow get it. It's just super frustrating. But yeah, I try my best to play around his board. Make him force him to activate. And I would continue my play, but unfortunately, I don't have any Orcust in my hand. I draw only the adventure package. Basically, I drew only the adventure package, so
Response to that?
I try my best to go around it and kind of see what happens.
And then we'll pitch one. Or one.
And that's when the cost of adventure.
When you add one, pitch one.
Brennan, what's up? You need a donor Arcanite machine.
Yeah.
Did I went past that?
Ulti Cosmic Fortress
Do
Gold.
Griffin effect to special.
I've never heard of that in my life.
Reptiles.
Anything on resolution of effect, however.
On summon?
Yes, on the resolution of his summon.
Oh no.
Okay. I'll attempt to do Ghost Runner.
Ooh. Sure.
Sand moth.
Okay.
Yeah, keep yourself in these.
Your Descent, gate.
Ooh, yes.
Gotcha.
All pretty good.
And you can banish up to 2, you said?
I can return up to two. So banish,
during
banish these.
any phase or only
Any
main
phase.
phase? Gotcha.
Any-
You have your own memory center?
One, two, banish, banish.
And then still, of course, not five, 4 cards.
Instead of gourds.
Reforged Legal and Edison.
Let's do talents to draw.
Sure. These were my old decks. Ready. Extravagance.
No, that's.
Counter fairies. My counter fairies.
I know. I want to church. That's pretty cool. I got
Let's banish,
Yep.
stays.
Your token's 2,000, right?
Yep, 2,000. Attempt to enter battle?
This is also one of my old decks. So you got
That's one.
Cube. Sure.
Let's do token to your defense.
And we'll do 8 away effect. Response.
No.
We'll banish 2. And then we'll return both.
To hand?
Yeah, if it's just a random.
Sure. And then redeclare. 2,000. Oh, and I take 2,000 as well.
Basically mirror force, not mirror force, but not cylinder.
Yeah, basically. Although you did take it as well, so I'm okay with it.
Ring of Destruction.
Yeah.
Ring of Destruction. That's the one. That's the one.
Go back in there.
This is probably Ring of Defense.
Reactivate Fateful Adventure. Let's attempt to normal summon Girsu. Let's set. And. This doesn't activate. Effect. No, nothing. I will attempt to pass. Go ahead.
Would love like 70 of those.
Yeah, you drop it up.
Mm-hmm.
Always wanted the Ghost Rays.
All right. So we'll do call, standby, main.
Standby.
I mean, and go and
Attempt to Griffin Rider.
So you can just get
It's only during the main phase. Nope, it's only during main phase.
singular one.
That's right. So draw, standby. You're good.
As I may.
Yeah.
With a two-play effect to add.
Two. Let's attempt to Griffin Rider.
And then
I always wanted this card to begin with.
that is fine with me.
Okay.
I always wanted this card to begin
Missed it. Oh, well.
Now this is a pretty big misplay that I screwed up on. I was testing out a card here that I'm going to play in a second, and I was like, oh, I completely forgot its effects. So I play Mass Change 2, and I like it because, again, if you draw Orcust in your hand, you can just pitch them, which is pretty nice, and a walking macro is always really good, but I missed on when to activate it. I should have done it on his search, and then what's its face? Then Darklaw is able to randomly hit a random card in the hand whenever a card is added. So I should have done chain Griffin effect to special chain because he had already activated a card to search, but I just completely missed it. And I'm thinking like, oh, Mel, just having a walking shift, or walking shifters macro, whatever you want to call it, should hopefully still be pretty strong. But I already know, nope, there's no point. He can just bounce everything. The spell can just fuse. So, and I have nothing in my hand, so I just have one Omni Negate. I kind of just, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, there's not much I can do to get around this. I'm already top decking, and he's got, I think, like 5 cards in his hand. More than likely, all of them are almost all hand traps. So it makes pretty quick work. And I feel like I should have scooped a little sooner, but I always like to just play it out.
Okay, let's go battle phase.
Sure.
We'll have Itoe run over the Griffin for 8. We'll go main 2 here. We'll do Itoe effect.
Sure. Which one are you on?
We'll finish both, and then we'll get rid of mostly this.
No.
Then we will. Let's do the other thing. Yeah, let's do this. This one. We'll do shirt.
Sure.
I don't want to get it anyway.
It's beat up, so it's worth like 5 cents.
And then we'll do like 4. We'll do Botcha 1, Refrain 2, Play 3.
Sure.
1600.
And then for Refrain, and then Refrain effect to add. Add Play. No, I don't play. Something else.
I was like, what is that?
Oh, exactly.
Fucking
So,
mesmerized.
Guardian.
And then 3,000 per game.
yeah, I'm gonna go back in.
So what was your face down? Could you? I think I went all in. Building well, good stuff. Chip in again.
No cards in hand.
Oh, there. Yeah, and then you would have.
No.
Made a single banger and never
Yeah.
Then you
came
would
back.
have there. Yeah, you
Yeah, I
should have
know,
activated
right?
in here.
That is some magic shit.
Mono summon Aria.
Put in my prime. Yeah.
And
This is
we'll
yours. Then you get it done. Then you have the.
I only want one.
I'm sorry to reject your stuff here. That's fine. Even bigger. Most people, when they bring this out, if it gets negated,
And
there's
then
only
I'll
one that you can go
go in
into.
phase here. Bring her back, both go to
Yeah, so then you should have. Should have had to link some this
So if you find a pretty
from there.
Let's do Faithful Adventure.
no. On my book.
Dark on dragon?
Is it a pretty one?
That's a pitch. Water enchantress.
I think I have a common one.
I believe it adds.
Real synchro?
It is probably. If you find like drill warriors. I'm basically, if you find a synchro, I just need like stop.
I proceeded to
things
draw
that
that,
was like
and then I proceeded to draw that, and I also proceeded to draw.
So I don't know if you would have had like a trap card that you could have activated or something.
I don't think I did.
Yeah, all
So
we
you
do
could
is
have
one
used
level
this
6
to.
that makes me very disappointed right now. He didn't win it.
Do you have any other trap tricks monsters
want
in
that.
that hand?
I did, but I missed.
Okay,
You can banish this card.
you could have used this to do that.
Okay.
Do a hard summon. You dropped that?
Switch 2000.
Yeah.
Utopia double.
Yeah, let's go game 2.
Really?
Yes.
Nobody expected it even back then. Dude,
It's really helpful.
like you and Jordan were
So with that, David takes round 1. Making the Baguskas, I did not see that coming. I was like, oh yeah, I guess you could just Baguska and pass, stun me out, and then his turn, switch it to attack mode and just kill me. So I was like, yeah, didn't really see that one coming. Pretty good. And then I just didn't see any of the. I finally saw Gearsu, but again, I was just met with hand traps, negates, nothing much that I can do. And normally, I only run the 2 Gearsu, which I like because if you draw the adventure package in a Gearsu, you're kind of stuck in a dilemma between do I want to normal summon and not be able to activate the adventure package, or do I want to, do the adventure package and a negate and hopefully hit something. So it was interesting. Probably should have power shuffled, but I just kind of figured whatever. I'll play through it. And first time playing it, back into the saddle with it. I used to love playing it a lot. The boards that they normally end on can be just like a SP on their turn, disrupt, counter, negate with the Orcust crescendo. But so it's kind of an interesting. I used to love it. I love dark decks. It was really a lot of fun. And again, like I said, I was trying out the. I always liked mass change in it because it's a lot of fun. So just kind of wanted to test it out and see how I liked it. I didn't know, and I think I realized it once in one of these recordings a while ago. But the mass change too, the monster has to be less level, a level less than the monster you're attempting to summon. So Dark Law's a 6. You can't use the Bestials on it, which was a bummer. I'm like, oh man, it would be so good just Bestial and then make a Dark Law, but no, you can't. It needs to be a level higher than the monster you're using. So I was kind of like, oh, that's kind of a bummer on it, but I still like it. I don't think it's good right now. I mean, maybe cut down. I'll probably cut down on the adventure package a little bit more, honestly. I think I see some decks running only 1 spell and 3 water enchantress. And I would think you'd want to do the reverse, 3 spells, 1 water enchantress. But, I mean, having monsters to pitch and make it live is just so good. I kind of like the, 3 and 2 or 2 and 2. But the fact that you can bring it back, I believe, Water Enchantress adds it back from the graveyard is why, which is pretty good. So in this game, I go first, and I think again I'm just met with so many hand traps, but I do enough to kind of stun him here. So we'll kind of see how it goes.
Speaks Italian.
Draw Sam on main. Let's do King
Yeah,
Surprise.
see, would you have played that out?
See that ogre.
This
This is actually rough.
Yeah.
I'm
Tempted King
also
Search.
gonna bind up this shit that I think looks weird. Ooh. All of the sacred beat. A gold.
Yeah.
Fighting on. Stroke. I already picked out one of each. Thanks, though. I appreciate it.
Do happy effect or not happy effect? Just special.
Yep.
King Sark.
Arnituri is an innocent? But I can't even play Eddie Masters in this.
Nope.
Virtual Orbits.
You play Ancient Gears? You say you'd rather play with you.
Special.
We ran out of glue. Like, no.
2 negate. Oh, at least it burns
Playing
negate.
a lot.
You would take the turn?
Galaxy.
And that negates monster.
Yep. It's a
There's
monster.
one of the gold rares basically just an ultra rare.
I'm thinking about him.
Mm-hmm.
That's secret
I
professor.
don't
Can't
know.
be possessed.
Nightmare, Orcust Nightmare banishes to target a monster and then dump an Orcust and that monster
Matters
gains
four.
attack. The other one is you can banish this card to special when they banished Orcust. The wand is you do the second dot. Let's negate it. I don't take damage.
Okay.
Why not? Nightmare effects. Target. Dump. Sure. World One effects. Banish to target to special. I think if you negate the effect, you won't get it again, right? I believe so.
OG box back in the day.
Want to.
Should let the negate go. Would have been so much healthier.
Boing.
Well, that would not happen.
Someone would have done that and not even realized. You're like, yeah, it's
That's fair. Yeah.
Great.
Let's do
Really?
He was on Stardust.
That's funny.
Galatea effect to placement.
Right here.
Extra deck monsters?
Well,
No,
we haven't seen the
Hollow extra deck is right on the floor. It should say super.
No, the one he already went through.
No, that was
No.
just random super.
That one.
Yeah, we're looking through it right now.
Oh, those are random. Those are random super monsters. Sorry.
Yeah, and a couple other stuff.
I'll place Babel.
I'll keep an eye out for you, bud.
Okay, Babel. Unless it's still in the car, Brennan. I probably maybe even bring it in.
I'm pretty sure it
It's an
says.
extra deck. It's not
This is mostly mine.
Yeah, it'll say extra deck on the box.
Okay. I don't see one of those.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's
a good deck today?
Trying, but I haven't played this in a long time.
This is mostly main deck monster.
Whoops, this is supposed to be shuffled. Overlay,
Any chance anybody has the QCR Blackwing Armor Master?
Deck lock
It would have been in
down.
the Megatons this last year.
Remind me what it does.
Neither player can add
Possibly.
cards from their deck to their hand except by drawing them, and monsters cannot be special summoned from the main deck.
Come on.
First of Destiny 2022.
That's the last time I opened.
No, it's
Temp
2021.
This is the last time I opened the deal, probably.
I have two, so yes.
Yeah,
I
two?
do.
Can't
I
add
have
cards
two.
from deck to hand, and
But I
special
don't
cards
want
from
to-
monsters from Yep.
But all these
And how long does that last?
During it gets destroyed during
Now,
the second
I will
stage.
jump in and say this. I like deck lockdown. I kind of made this side deck as quick as I can. I'm like, yeah, deck lockdown's down. You know, it's good. Just, they can't search. I didn't realize how bad deck lockdown actually hurts me. I can't special from the deck. So even if I activate a nightmare to pitch a harp, I can't special anything. And I'm like, oh my god, this is actually not great. I could have nightmare to special or to dump a skeleton, but it wouldn't have done anything because I don't have anything in the graveyard. So I was like, oh man. I'm like, I hope he doesn't, break the board.
Nightmare, target
But I guess deck lockdown was actually the right choice because it actually really hurt him. So I was like, well, if he passes, I'm just gonna try to set up a board and kill him. Do enough damage to kill. which ended up happening. But yeah, I was just like, oh my god, I didn't realize how badly like it kills me. And then here I do a misplay. I'm like, oh, yeah, wait a minute. You need a monster for this to be a quick effect. And I was like, yeah. So I put that back and put the card back in the grave. But it did matter because in the end, this was all during end phase. And in the end, I'm like, oh, I'll just do it now then, on my turn. So, but yeah, I was like, oh, I'm going to need to do like mistaken arrest or something else because I need to special from the deck, like on my opponent's turn. So definitely not a great tech choice. So, and mistaken arrest is so good just during your end phase. Neither player can search. I mean, it shuts me out of searching on my turn, but it's still not terrible. It's either deck lockdown hurt him, or he had only drawn all hand traps to stun me. But it obviously, I mean, this is enough here to kill him. So. Maybe just needing a little bit more.
Target to shuffle to set one. Don't do anything too fancy. Crescendo, power trap.
Usually just a smidge.
Level 7 doesn't.
But you're almost there.
Like a $10 common.
Sure. No thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you had okay. Oh, but you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found
And it was just like a hand that started pretty much like that. And I was like, oh, that's cute.
All hand traps.
You gotta go into him for 0.
Well, now
Now I can't search.
Yeah, that's true. Searching kills you.
Okay, fine.
So game 2 does go to me, and I think that was about a 30-minute mark for the timer. So we only have about 10 minutes left going into game 3. So kind of like halftime here. And I siding in for him. I'm thinking like, what's gonna really hurt? What's gonna stun him? And I don't have a lot of hand traps that really affect anything. I don't even think I'm running. Maybe I am running Ash. I can't remember, but just in general, I don't have enough hand traps. So I figured, I'll just do some board breakers or the side deck I built. I think I put Ice Dragon's Prison, which is pretty good because all of his are fairy. So special one from his grave and just banish it, I think would be great. But he's going first, so it's kind of like I gotta open going first cards. Hopefully I can stun him here. But I mean, David's end board is it's good. It's not like it's bad. It's so good that it makes enough disruption. It's the hand traps that really just like make it more powerful. So it normally ends on maybe 2 or 3 cards being bounced back to your hand with that fusion. But the rest cards, like the 4 that are in his hand, are just all hand traps that you just can't play. They stun you and you can't do anything about. So I'm kind of thinking like, okay, what can I do here that can make the hand traps not hurt as bad. But unfortunately, I don't know if I think I draw pretty good, but taking forever to side is never a good thing.
Game 3, let's go. We got 13 minutes. That's enough for you to combo and me to break your board and kill you. Just do like 200 damage. Be like, oh, it's time. Sorry. Let me look at your graveyard really quick.
Cards in hand.
Yeah,
I didn't even draw my opening.
I haven't drawn yet. I mean, if you draw all the hand traps, you
Cards in hand. Cards in hand.
yeah. How many cards do you have like on you?
Part of the game has come.
All right.
All right, I'll start.
Good luck. Oh, come on.
All right, so draw, stand by.
Yeah.
No, it don't. So if you go into, say you got your.
Pass?
You guys both first movement solo.
Oh, sure.
I have not.
Is there anything sexy in this?
There's some good stuff, but I don't think there's anything for that. Or that is fine.
Refrain effect to search.
Yep. Wish I drew something for it, but I didn't.
So, say you got whatever.
That also is what I was shitting on Aaron during his, what's it called? Stardust shit. I'm just not coming back.
The Dark Old Structure deck? That shit was fire.
I bought a Dark Construction deck and a Light Sworn at that time. I was getting back to
One
this.
check,
That's the one that's just a free special, right?
Yeah, so that one special is that one.
Gotcha.
Special would buy 3 of them and enter tournament.
Activate two play.
Sure.
Two play effect to search.
Sure.
This shit also used to be one of my boss monsters. I used to destroy anything I thought that wasn't wind.
Never seen this one.
And then say you've got, just to make it even cheaper to do all of this.
You just run this on any deck and turn it to it. That's awesome.
So if you're not on wind,
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's only one check, right? Unspent. Yeah, unless you decide to, like,
For Bacha.
3, 4.
Bacha 1, refrain 2, you play 3.
Sure. Underneath here to alliance. There's all kinds of ways to check all of it. And then it's protected. It's just stupid. Really is. Yeah. Like this guy's stupid.
Yeah.
Add that one you said, or specials it?
Yes.
Gotcha.
What does it do?
discard a sense of the grave, draw a card, and put a card from the top of the deck.
That would have been a good thing for you to get there. De-digital and that.
Okay.
Let's do Pendulum Summon for.
I think it is one of the this, that, and New Modern are probably some of the most.
Is this the one that can't be destroyed, or?
You can't be targeted by card effects or destroyed by battle. Any of them.
Gotcha. Got it.
Then we'll do Soprano Effect to fuse.
Sure. Which one was
I
that
just
one?
wanted to see.
That's Soprano's Effect.
Gotcha.
These
for 3, eh?
And you came back from nothing. So that's what I wanted to see.
Then we'll have Bacha Effect targeting Soprano, and then Concerto to draw.
Sure. That's a nice 1-2 structure deck Pegasus. There's an Ultra Skyblast.
Then I'm going to do Soprano Effect targeting Bacha to put it back.
Sure.
This card also looks so cool.
Then one card face down, and it will be.
Oh, I don't care about you. We need more.
Draw against Rune.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why I want to play Spooky Dogwood, to just gain life points. I think we have maybe 8 minutes left. And I'm just like, I can't believe I drew double Cosmic. Now, that hit was really good, and I'm glad I had it. Like, if he had activated Rivalry, I would have just cried. It's probably scooped on the spot. But I just, the one double Cosmic, I'm like, ugh, there's not much I have. You know, I have to bait out hand traps. I'm like counting his hand here, actually. I'm like, he's got 3 cards. More than likely one of them's a hand trap. I mean, Ghost Mourners, and I take damage. So, I'm like, and he can banish 3 cards right now. So, it takes a little bit of time for me to decide, like, okay, now I have to do something to try to make him bait. And I think he activates it right away because he knows that if I get Griffin, it's a negate. So he bounces it back to my hand, and I'm like, oh, I think he prematurely shotgunned it. That's why I asked. I was like, is that only a once per turn? Like, because then I could just replace it and reactivate it. So, but yeah, I think I only have maybe like 5 minutes left in time. So I'm kind of like trying to like, okay, how do I do this, do enough damage, and survive? But It's really tough, especially when I already am down about 1,000 life points. So, but if I had Dogwood, just gained all that life, I wouldn't even be worried about nothing. I would just build a wall. But now I'm in panic mode.
I mean, it's a 2-drop, right? You drop the shame. It's a 2-drop 5K, right? Yeah, see, that's pretty good.
He's all your shit on your side too.
Rez, anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring tokens up. Cyber jar?
This is rough. King Sark. Attempt to King Sark.
Gorgeous.
Dump.
White sardine?
Do that 2 more times. Get that hand.
Get that hand out of here. Nope, I already had the Imseti. I drew Imseti and King. I was like, oh, that's all right.
You know, could do
Yes.
Anything on that?
Oh my god.
Let's special happy.
From OP
Could have drawn 3 of them.
Faithful Adventure to re-equip
Prefer if it's old, but
or to equip, add or equip. I'll just equip right away, and I can't target them
They cannot be targeted by card effects or killed in battle.
or by battle because of her.
Correct.
I
Gotcha.
almost don't want those Caiuses in there.
It does unsuspend
New-
somehow. I don't remember how.
Special Imseti.
Ultra rare chain art. Some goo.
It might be a different
28.
5. They got.
Let's attempt to enter battle. Let's do happy to your Melodius. Anything?
Nope.
Sark to send it.
Oh, it sends to grave whenever they battle, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Doesn't destroy.
I've got
Let's do Imseti. Was she boosted at all?
Nope, she's 20.
Imseti do your fusion,
Okay, and then we'll her
That was also crazy.
which is
summons a Melodious monster from deck or extra, except for herself.
Sure.
Okay.
I think I have it here anyway.
Oh, I did not realize that was like a $8 card. Yeah. Vortex. You just want to trade all that for these two?
And then Bacha effect to special from play.
Almost like 5.5 and 3.
Sure.
I don't know if the Vortex would be smart.
Just cruise check.
I didn't even look them up.
And then
I guess I'll check this. Reasoning?
yeah, and then refrain effect
To
to
add one? Sure.
Shit on me.
sucker for coup play.
Sure.
And then coup play effect to special from hand or grave.
This here?
That's that one or just the one in your hand? When it's added,
Yes, when it was added to my hand.
does it say which one?
It special wants one level 4 lower, one level 4 lower, but doesn't specify. Doesn't target.
Chain bag on the elbow or the area. Ooh. Sure.
That's I don't know this one. It's right there.
Yeah.
So then it can't be destroyed again?
Yep. That way I'm protected again.
Got you.
Also because there's different from Minnesota region. Iowa and Oregon regions are on the south.
Well, Nick, I'll be good. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I did look through one of these.
Yeah,
The small one.
we have a belly button.
Sorry, main phase 2.
Thank you.
I have not normal. I won't activate anyway. The one's coming back. Din? Din's effect to send a card you control to the grave.
Mhm.
Let's do Draco back to bounce your fusion back to your hand.
That's just you.
You guys have this big box?
All set.
Shit, let me get that.
Attempt
Oh, main
to
deck
pass.
box
Go ahead.
Okay.
Draw for turn. Actually, no, because that's supposed to come back as well.
Proactive.
And what?
Okay.
Yep.
Turn that minus into like a +1.
Right, I can do that. Okay, that's fine. All right, so draw standby main.
Mhm.
We'll do quickly effect to add.
Cosmic.
It's just cute. Okay. Go ahead, Drew. We'll do prosperity.
Sure.
2 minutes.
Let's go.
Are you stuff?
Six.
Sure.
Good.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can see there he builds a wall just enough that my battle phase I was only able to do, I think, like maybe 500 damage, and he had the Mourner when I tried to summon a Bestial.
Sure.
And I just, there was not enough time. I feel like maybe if I had 5 more minutes, if that, I might have been able to continue, but I just, like, nope, there was nothing much I can do. I mean, I had the King Sark. That's what got me around the Melodious monster, that they can't be targeted or, destroyed by card effects. So I was like, okay, yeah, I got around that, but nope, he was just able to continue on. And I think that about wraps it up. I think time is called here in just a few seconds, and there's not much else that I can do. And yeah, he had the orange light, which is always just so clutch. So yeah, I kind of just I paid the cosmic twice. So I'm already down, I believe, 2,000. And he's able to just kind of continue comboing, and I lose into time. So pretty much wraps it up for the match. So it kind of ends with David winning. So, but yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you guys see something or notice something that we missed, please let us know. Leave a comment. Please tell me what it is. We could have done differently or played a little bit better. But yeah, that about wraps it up. Thank you very much for watching.
Yep. Yeah, I did. I was in a chain, and then he chained Mourner. I was like, oh, cool. You got it.
It was a fight, though.
Yeah, no, it was fun. I was